People need people. But the worst punishment in our penal system is not to be beaten, is not to be tased. It is to be put in isolation, in solitary confinement. That's the worst punishment. It's when you take them out of circulation of the regular people and put them in solitary confinement. It is the most intense punishment. They would rather be beaten than to be taken and put in a place where you can't have interaction with human beings. So learn to be patient with people, because some people are living through their inadequacies to the best ability that they know how. And we have to learn to simply be patient with people. There are people that you will find, you don't know people just from the surface. So some people, they'll laugh at everything. They're big jokesters. And so they become the class clowns. But oftentimes, they're generally deeply sad on the inside. And when you find a person that sleeps a lot, it's one of two things generally with them I found. Either they're lonely or they're depressed, or a combination of the two. When they sleep a lot, they're lonely or they're depressed. Because people need people. Say that with me. People need people. You see, relationships with others is a part of the created order. Relationships with others is a part of the created order. The Bible teaches, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16 in the New Century Version, that the whole body depends on Christ. And all the parts of the body are joined and held together. Each part does its own work to make the whole body grow and be strong with love. The King James Version puts it this way. It talks about the body being fitly joined together, and every joint supplieth. There's something that every joint supplieth. Every joint, every connection place in the body supplies something. You see, you're connected together with people whether you realize it or not. And sometimes the younger that people are, the less that they realize that their actions that they do are connected to somebody that loves them, and it affects that person. They think that this is just my own life and this is just about me and I'm not hurting anybody. This is my own life I'm doing. No. There's a family that loves you. There are friends that love you. There are people that care about you. And when you do things that damage yourself, you hurt the people that love you too. So you don't live to yourself. We're one body, and there's something that each person is able to provide. There are some people that are very cerebral, great thinkers. There are other people that are excellent with their body. We need it all. We need it all, because I'm just telling you, you're not going to find a nuclear physicist who's going to come there and pick up your trash, but your trash needs to be picked up, and if they don't get it picked up after a while, about 3 days, you let 3 weeks go by and your trash starts piling up on you. You will realize how valuable the people who come and collect our waste products, how valuable they are. I appreciate them. You see, everybody supplies something. Everybody can't be a doctor. Everybody can't be a teacher. Everybody can't be a CPA and all of this. But everybody supplies something. There's something that you supply. God gave you a gift, and your gift makes room for you, and somebody needs your gift. I have never seen God give a gift that is unnecessary. Every time that there's a gift, there is always a need. A gift is given in response to a need. A gift is given in response to a need. God created Jesus. Jesus was created before the foundations of the earth, because God had already looked down the vista of time, and he had seen that man would mess up. I told you this thing is a three-stage play. And the first was creation. The second was the fall. The third is redemption. God already saw the fall before he ever created Adam. God saw the fall. And he had already preordained Jesus before the foundation of the earth to be able to do the redemption part and bring us back into right standing. Everybody has a place. Everybody has a place. God made it to where we were designed to where we never miss a beat. You know how black folks clap on first and third and white folks clap on second and fourth? But put us all together and you never miss a beat. You see, he gave all of us something. He gave a uniqueness. God didn't even put all of the same treasure in any one place in the earth. He hid some things. I'm just telling you, getting up in the morning is an international affair. I got up and drove my German automobile today with gasoline from Saudi Arabia, coffee from Colombia, with dyes in a tie from India. Are you listening to me? I'm just talking about you got an international affair before you could even get out. You understand? Before you can get across town good. So who is it? You know, we're not an autonomous nation. We have to import stuff from various places around the world in order to be who we are. God didn't put all of the stuff in any one place so we would need to each other. And it's the famous words of Rodney King, can we all just get along? Can we all just get along? Because we're all one family. So don't do life alone. Don't do life alone. You know, most of the time, you know, we don't even want to deal with people because, you know, we're private, and sometimes you get in trouble and you want it to just be a private, miraculous thing that God does it. Without doctors, without lawyers, we just want God to do it. But sometimes you'll discover that God's answer to our problem is a person. God's answer to every problem is a person. God's answer to every problem is a person. Do you know when God does it direct and bypasses a person, that is the exception to the rule? Most of the time when God moves in your life, God's answer to every problem is always a person. It's a person. It's a person. It's not just God just coming down, boom, bam. No, no, no. God hides himself in the uniform of a human being and then does his work through them. So it's still God. God is the source. The person is the resource. But God's answer to every problem is always a person. It's always a person. When there was a problem with the children of Israel in slavery, who did God do? God didn't try to get together a bunch of attorneys. God raised up a person, Moses. When the walls of Jerusalem were in ruin, he didn't try to get together a bunch of contractors. He raised up a person, Nehemiah. When the world was filled with moral profligacy and all types of licentiality, he raised up a person, Jesus the Christ. When the gospel needed to be preached, he raised up a person, Paul. He raised up Apollos. He raised up Cephas. He raised up a person, because God's answer to every problem is always a person. When the world was without direction and before we had GPS and MapQuest, he raised up a person. Jesus said, I am the way. When you really need peace, peace is not something that you get from a syringe. It's not something that you get out of a bottle. Peace is a person. He's called the Prince of Peace. Peace is a person, because God's answer to every problem is always a person. That's why people need people, because your gift in you, your ministry in you, no gift would be ever activated if there were no person in the earth, because your gift is not for you. You think God put a gift in you so you can get before the mirror and perform it? You can't even get your anointing on in front of the mirror. You know, God is like, forget about yourself, concentrate on me and worship me. Get out of the mirror. He said, you know, forget about yourself. This gift that is in you is not about you. That's why God can use the gift that is in your life to bless other people, encourage other people, anoint other people, deliver other people, and then you go home and with your sucking your thumb, crying yourself to sleep. Because the gift is not for you. The gift is through you to bless others. It's for you to bless others. It's so that you can be an answer to a problem that's in the world, because God wanted to show up through you. He's just that kind of way. He likes to come every now and then, what I'd call incognito.